Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. Happy Valentine's Day. So for Valentine's Day, as it is the holiday of love, I thought that today we would talk soulmates. So for me, a soulmate is somebody who you're meant to be with, but who also makes you better. Like the two of you make each other better, but also accept each other as you already are. So I have quite a few books that I'm going to talk about that have some amazing romances, amazing couples who are 100% meant to be and who bring out the absolute best in each other. So the first one that I am going to mention is a book that I have talked about on my channel multiple times as a romance that I wish I could have for myself, and that is Fish and Alessandra from Smitten by Lauren Rowe. This is a rock star romance where Fish is a member of a band called 22 Goats. It is a very famous band, but Fish is not the most famous member. He's the bassist. He's not the most famous one. He's not the most conventionally attractive, and girls always only like him for the fact that he's famous. And all he wants is for somebody to love him as he is. And he meets Alessandra, who is a very shy, aspiring singer-songwriter who does just that. Loves him for who he is and allows him to feel more confident in himself. She really brings out the Fish that is confident, that has more desire to be part of the band and not just stand in the background playing the bass. He sings, he produces, he shows his friends all of these other things that he has wanted to do, but he's not been confident enough to do them. And it's all because of Alessandra. And Alessandra is incredibly shy, but Fish really allows her to be her best self, bring out this personality that she's afraid to show the world, and their romance is magical. I love it so much. If you're going to read this book, please listen to the audiobook. It's fantastic. There's a song that they sing in the book. There are songs sung in the book, in the audiobook, that are just done so well, and it is incredible, and their romance is just beautiful. Their love story is something I hope that I have for me one day. The next book that I'm going to talk about is another that I've talked about quite a lot on my channel. It's one of my favorite books ever, and that is Never Seduce a Scot by Maya Banks. Evelyn and Graham are so good together. Evelyn is a deaf heroine. She and Graham are from rival feuding families, and they are in an arranged marriage. They're required by the king to get married, and Graham is an absolute sweetheart hero. She's his wife. He could do, by the laws of the time, could do whatever he wanted to her, but he believes that she is daft, that she is mind-addled, and he refuses to take advantage of her. He refuses to cheat on her also. His brothers talk about how nobody will fault him for getting a mistress because he can't do anything with his wife. And he says, no, I took my marriage vows. I take my marriage vows seriously. Even though they weren't my choice, I take them seriously, and I am going to be faithful to my wife, and I am going to defend her to my clan who hate her. And Evelyn really allows herself, she's been so afraid throughout the years that she was living with her family. She was so afraid to show the fact that she was deaf, the fact that she was not crazy, and she really does show that to Graham and show that she wants to take the marriage seriously also. She wants to have a marriage like her parents, who did love each other and brought out the best in each other, and their romance is so adorable, so beautiful. Graham is such a sweetheart. Eveline really like learns to stand up for herself and learns to not let anything hold her back, and it's so good. The next one is a book that I only read recently. It's one of my favorite books from last month, and that is Wicking Olivia by Elizabeth O'Rourke. Olivia and Will are absolutely meant to be together. They have a lot harder of a time being together than the other two books that I've mentioned, because their relationship is incredibly forbidden by society, by the laws of the by the rules of their situation, because Olivia is a college student, she is a track star, and Will is her track coach, and it is against the rules of the university for them to be in a relationship. Will is quite a bit older than her, so it is taboo in society in general, and they go through so much in order to be together, so much inner turmoil, so much working together, and it is done so incredibly well. Olivia has so much trauma in her background from what she's dealt with as a child. She has a condition that causes her to basically sleepwalk, but instead of sleepwalk, she runs, and she runs like she's being chased, like she's fears for her life, and she can't stop it. She doesn't know how to make it go away, and Will really helps her, takes her to a safe place, shows her that he can keep her safe, and that she has nothing to fear from him and from where she is now. And it is done so well. So many trigger warnings, so please be aware of them, but it is done so incredibly well. Their romance is so beautiful, and I loved this book. Then the next one we're going to talk about is another one of my all-time favorite books, and that is Welcome to the Dark Side by Gianna Darling. Zeus and Lou are so good together, no matter what society tells them. Lou is 17 years old throughout this book. It is the only book that I like where it's age gap and one of the characters is under 18. It is stated blatantly multiple times throughout this book that she is above the age of consent, that she is allowed to make this choice. It is not illegal. But I absolutely adore this book, and Zeus and Lou, no matter what their ages are, they show that age is just a number and that they are perfect for each other. Zeus saved Lou as a child and continues to save her throughout the rest of her life, oftentimes without knowing it. She is very much known throughout their town as being the daughter of the mayor, having a perfect pampered lifestyle, but secretly inside she is dying. She, both physically and mentally, she has dealt with cancer. She's fighting for her life, but also because from the pressure and force of her parents, who treat her more like a object, more like a status symbol than like their daughter. She does not really get any love from her parents at all, and they're not the kind of people who accept her for who she is. She is not this perfect mayor's daughter. She is a wild child. She belongs with the people who have that trauma in their life. And she finds her home not only just with Zeus, but with the fallen MC. And it is so good. They are absolutely perfect for each other. They are so meant to be, and they work so well, and I love them. Then the next one is another one that I read in January. It's another one of my top favorites of January, and that is Rylan and Riona from Broken Vow. Riona is a heroine who is not sweet and fluffy. She is the heroine that is badass. She's take no shit. She is not the one to show her feelings. She is not somebody who appreciates showing vulnerability. She is somebody who is a hard worker and who does her absolute best to be the best she can for her family. And Raylan is there to protect her when she is forced to show that vulnerability. She is hunted down. She is somebody is trying to kill her, and Raylan is there to be her bodyguard, and she is terrified of the person trying to hunt her down, of the near-death experiences that she's had because of this person that's trying to kill her, and she is kind of forced to show that vulnerability because of how scared she is, and that's not something that makes her comfortable. But Raylan is so good with her, and he's so good at allowing her to be who she is, but also to show her that it's okay to be vulnerable, and it doesn't make you weak to show that vulnerability, and it doesn't make you any less of a badass woman to end having to show that vulnerability. And it is incredible. I absolutely loved this book. So good. Their romance is so cute, and I loved it. The last one that I have to share is one that I haven't mentioned on my channel in a while, but it was a staple in me when I first started my channel, and that is The Deal by Elle Kennedy with Hannah and Garrett. This is a college romance between Hannah, who is a music student, and Garrett Graham, who is a hockey player. He is a going pro hockey player. He plays for the college, but he's the kind of hockey player that's going to go pro. And Hannah and Garrett have a relationship that starts because Hannah needs him to help her with intimacy and sex situations. She has a crush on somebody, not Garrett, in the beginning of this book. She has a crush on somebody else, and Hannah is very confident in every aspect of her life except for sex because of the trauma and baggage that she has due to a sexual assault that happened to her when she was younger. She has been scarred by that sexual assault, and she no longer feels comfortable in a sexual situation, in showing her body and being vulnerable like that with another person. So trust is really, really important to her, and Garrett agrees to help her become more comfortable with sexual situations and with her body in general. And the romance that develops between the two of them is so perfect for them. This one was one that I really connected with. I felt very emotionally connected to this romance, and like Smitten, this is a romance that I want, something like this. I mean, I would love aspects of every one of these books for my own relationships, but this one felt very real to me, and I love it. I think that this is perfect. I think that they are perfect. So that's all. That's all of them that I wanted to talk about. There are so many more, but these are like the main ones that I'm going to talk about. But that is it for this video. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a like if you liked it, and subscribe so you can see me in another video.